The Russian invasion of Ukraine was an act of aggression that violated the Charter of the United Nations. In addition, Russia was accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity, and waging war in violation of international law, indiscriminately attacking densely populated areas and exposing civilians to unnecessary and disproportionate harm. Russian forces use cluster munitions, repudiated by most states because of their immediate and long-term danger to civilians, and fired other wide-area explosives like air-dropped bombs, missiles, heavy artillery shells and multiple launch rockets. Ukrainian forces reportedly also fired cluster munition rockets. Russian attacks damaged or destroyed homes, hospitals, schools and kindergartens, the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, and 191 cultural properties such as historic buildings and churches. As of 25 March, the attacks had resulted in at least 1,035 civilian deaths and at least 1,650 civilian injuries. Russian forces were accused of forcibly deporting thousands of civilians to Russia, sexual assaults, and deliberately killing Ukrainian civilians. When Ukrainian forces recaptured Bucha in late March, evidence emerged of war crimes, including torture and deliberate killings of civilians, including children. The invasion also violated the Rome Statute, which created the International Criminal Court and prohibits the invasion or attack, or any annexation by the use of force. Russia withdrew from the statute in 2016 and does not recognize ICC authority, but 39 member states officially referred the matter to the ICC, and Ukraine accepted ICC jurisdiction in 2014. On 2 March, Karim Ahmad Khan, prosecutor for the ICC, opened a full investigation into past and present allegations of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide committed in Ukraine by any person from November 21, 2013 on. The ICC also set up an online portal for people with evidence to contact investigators, and sent investigators, lawyers and other professionals to Ukraine to collect evidence. On March 4, 2022, the United Nations Human Rights Council created the International Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine, an independent committee of 3 human rights experts with a mandate to investigate violations of human rights and international humanitarian law in the invasion. In the first month of the invasion, the UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine, deployed by OCHR, documented arbitrary detentions in Russian-occupied territories of 21 journalists and civil society activists, and 24 public officials and civil servants. They also expressed concern about reports and videos of ill treatment, torture, and public humiliation of civilians and prisoners of war in territory controlled by Ukraine, allegedly committed by police officers and territorial defense forces. They have been monitoring human rights violations by all parties since 2014, employing nearly 60 UN human rights monitors. In late March, Prosecutor General of Ukraine Irina Venediktova stated that Ukrainian prosecutors had collected evidence for 2,500 possible war crimes cases and had several hundred suspects. On 13 May, the first war crimes trial began in Kyiv, of a Russian soldier who was ordered to shoot an unarmed civilian. Ukraine filed a lawsuit at the International Court of Justice, ICJ, accusing Russia of violating the 1948 Genocide Convention, which both Ukraine and Russia had signed, with false claims of genocide as a pretext for the invasion. The International Association of Genocide Scholars supported Ukraine's request that the ICJ direct Russia to halt its offensive in Ukraine. On 16 March, the ICJ ordered Russia to immediately suspend the military operations on a 13-2 vote, with the Russian and Chinese judges in opposition. The order is binding, but the ICJ has no means of enforcement. Under international criminal law's principle of universal jurisdiction, investigations were opened in Estonia, Germany, Lithuania, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland.